sell digital products or teachers pay teachers products and you're not utilizing Pinterest, you are missing out on free leads and free sales. If you don't know me, I am Lindsay Bowden, and I have sold over $2 million worth of digital products, and I've helped thousands of others create and sell their own digital products and teacher resources. And in this video, we're going to be talking about how I have started using Pinterest to really gain free organic traffic to not only my freebies, but also my paid offers. So if you don't know, Pinterest is a little bit different than a social media platform like Instagram. Pinterest is a search engine like Google. And a lot of people go to Pinterest for a specific reason. They're looking for a recipe. They're looking for a new nail color. They're looking for a part-time job, a side hustle. They are looking for a teacher resource. They are looking for, something in particular, and they want to find it when they search for it. So when you start treating Pinterest that way, that's when you start getting the traffic. So we are going to actually look at Pinterest, and I'm going to show you step by step how I've been using it to get more eyeballs on my stuff. And the reason I love Pinterest is it's free to play. It's not pay to play. You don't have to utilize their ad feature necessarily to get traffic. In fact, I've never run a Pinterest ad, but it's easy to get started, it's free, and a lot of people are on Pinterest every day with a specific mission looking for what you have to sell. So if you don't have anything to sell yet, that would be where you need to start. You need to have a product to sell, whether it's a Teachers Pay Teachers product or your own low ticket digital product or an online course or a membership. You need to have something to sell first. I have plenty of other videos in my YouTube channel about how to create digital products, so make sure that you watch those first. But once you have a digital product ready to go, then you can start using Pinterest to get traffic to that digital product. Another thing that I would set up is some type of lead magnet, some type of freebie. Now with Teachers Pay Teachers, you can send people directly to the Teachers Pay Teachers link because it is, typically $10 or less. A lot of the products are $5 or less. And so that's a pretty easy buy for someone to just click on that and purchase it. But a great thing to do to build your brand and to build an even bigger business that you can expand in the future as a Teachers Pay Teachers seller is create some type of long form content like a blog or a YouTube channel, and then you can link to that. We'll get to that. Let me go ahead and show you what Pinterest looks like if you've never been to Pinterest. So here is Pinterest, and you can tell from my Pinterest that I look at a lot of recipes, hair color, nails, but I also use it for other things as well. And you can also see a lot of the things that I have pinned here are related to my business. So I use Pinterest for personal reasons, but I use it for my business as well. So a couple of things. If you already have Pinterest as a personal user, you can keep that account and then just change it to a business account. It is free, so there's nothing you have to do other than go in your settings and change it to a business, a professional account. And then you unlock all of these features, like you can have analytics, you can have a profile with, a lead magnet here and other things. So once you upgrade, I won't call it upgrade because it sounds like you have to pay for that. Once you change from a personal account to a business profile, then there's a few things that you want to do to set up your Pinterest account for sales. The first thing that I would do is I would make sure that you have a clear profile picture of you. And you can use the same picture across platforms. So if you have like a picture on your Teachers Pay Teacher store or your Instagram, you can use that. And then you want to make sure that your name here is something searchable. So this says work from home selling digital products. So if someone went to Pinterest and typed in work from home jobs, my profile could come up in search. You also want to use keywords on your bio here. So helping teachers and moms create passive income, that is a keyword. With flexibility and freedom, I share tips on remote work, side hustles at home, selling digital products, building your TPT store, grow your online business, teacherpreneur, stay-at-home mom. So I have lots of keywords in there. And I used ChatGPT to write this. I just gave it a lot of keywords and I said, make this into a paragraph that doesn't sound like keyword stuffing, because you don't want to do that. You want it to make sense when you read it, but you want it to have all those keywords so that your profile could come up in search. Then you want to, if you have a website, now you can't claim a Teachers Pay Teachers website, but if you have your own website, which I do recommend getting eventually, once you have probably 50 to 100 products in your store and you're ready to kind of expand your business, then make sure you grab a website. If you're not on Teachers Pay Teachers and you just want to sell digital products, you definitely need some type of website. You want to claim your website in the settings so that it will have it right here, and it'll have a little check mark that it's kind of verified that you own that domain. That helps because when you start pinning pins, and a pin is just this rectangular picture here, the pin goes to a link on your website, and when it is a claimed domain, then those pins rank higher in search. And by the way, I am not a Pinterest expert. I hired a Pinterest expert, a Pinterest strategist, Jenny Lang, to help me with my Pinterest account. I had a Pinterest account that I was doing manually by myself for a few years, and then I kind of ghosted it because it was just a lot of work and I was doing a lot of other things. And so I hired her to come in and kind of like revamp my page. And so she's been doing all this for me, which has been nice, and I've learned so much from her. And she said that I could share all of this with you. But if you're looking for a strategist, like if you want an audit of your account, or you want someone to help you set it up the right way, or you want someone to manage your account, check out Jenny Lang. She is great. If she can't help you, she can point you in the direction of someone that can, because she already has a lot of clients for management. Anyway, so she has been doing these pins for me, but she did tell me that when you pin to your website and you have that little check mark here, then those will rank higher in search. Okay, so that's what you kind of need to do to set up your profile. I also have this picture here that I made in Canva, and it links to, it actually doesn't link, but I have the link that people could type in there, lindseybowden.com/list, to get a lead magnet. So you could do that as well. I don't know how many people actually go in and actually type that in, but it just looks nice. People see, okay, she has some things to offer. Maybe I'll check that out. Once you have your profile set up, then you want to start making boards. So boards are categories of pins that you pin. Think about like a vision board. You have different vision boards, and you want to have some boards related to the top things that you talk about. So if you're a TPTer, it could be third grade math stations or multiplication fact. Let me do mine, high school geometry. So I could have like circle angles activities. I could have constructions activities. So let me show you my boards that I have. So entrepreneur tips, digital products to sell, remote jobs for stay-at-home moms, how to start an online business, and all of these are named using keywords. So all of them are keywords. I do have some personal boards too, because I use this for like when I'm updating the house, or for, you can see my dinners one here for recipes. You can still have personal boards, just make them secret. So you can see them, but when other people come, they can't see them. And it also just tells Pinterest, okay, this is just her personal stuff that she is pinning, but the stuff that we want to show to her audience is the public boards. And you can see this here, teacher side hustle ideas, how to create an online course. So probably 10 boards would be good, 5 to 10 boards. And then you will start pinning to those boards when you have them. Now, let's kind of step back and talk about where to find keywords for a second, because Pinterest has their own algorithm, just like Google does, just like Instagram does. So a great way to find keywords is right inside of Pinterest. If you go to the search feature, and let's say that I type in TPT tips. Okay, nothing comes up. So that means that I need to maybe be more specific. Let's just do Teachers Pay Teachers. All right, and then you'll see here, you'll see some pins that people have pinned. Let's do all pins. All pins. There we go. That's why it wasn't showing anything. I was like, I know people are searching for Teachers Pay Teachers. So, okay, that's what I did. Change it to all pins if you don't see anything. And then you'll see keywords here. So Teachers Pay Teachers freebie, Teachers Pay Teachers seller. So let's say that you are third grade math worksheets, third grade math worksheets, free printables. So if you have like a bunch of freebies in your store, which is a good way to get people onto your email list, you can make a board for freebies. Third grade math games, third grade math anchor charts. All of these could be not only board games, but keywords that you want to include in your bio. Third grade math division worksheet. Let's say that you are making digital products that aren't related to TPT. Maybe you're making digital products about how to start an Etsy store. So Etsy shop ideas, Let's see. Etsy business. Etsy business ideas, Etsy business cards, Etsy business plan. How to start an Etsy store. All right. How to start an Etsy shop as a teen. So all of these could be Etsy shop with Cricut, potential keywords that you want to rank for, because this is what people are searching for on Pinterest. And there are other ways to find keywords as well, especially when you upgrade or you change to that business account. There are trends that you can look at inside of your analytics. Pinterest gives you really good analytics. That's one thing that Jenny told me, is Pinterest has one of the best analytics dashboards that you can see, and I'll just show you mine. So when you're in your profile, let's see, Business Hub, it'll give you analytics, and you can change it from the last 30 days, 7/14/90. It'll tell you your highest ranking pins, how many impressions you got, how many engagements you got, how many saves, and then your top pins. So that's kind of like the dashboard here. Let's see. Analytics overview. Since I have started repinning, or Jenny has been repinning for me, our everything has gone up, which is great. 167,000 impressions, 8,000 engagements, 2,000 outbound clicks, which is really what you want. You want people to go to your website and do something, either give you their email or buy something, or just be nurtured by you so that they can buy in the future. Saves are also great, where they save it to a board. And then you can see the top pins. So Pi Day is doing really well right now because that's seasonal, but then some of my other things do well year round. And actually all these are really old pins, and then we've been pinning a lot of new stuff. So the thing about Pinterest is it's a long game. So you're not going to see results in a week or a month or even 3 months. It might take 3 to 6 months, even a year, to really be successful for you. And so that's why it's great that it's free. And you can just start slowly pinning, and I'm going to tell you what we've been doing as like how much we're pinning and things like that. But then it just grows over time. So these pins that I pinned literally years ago are doing great. They are, this says created June 19th, 2020. So that's 5 years ago almost, and it's still getting me a lot of engagement, which is cool. You can actually go back and take pins that are doing well and repin them as well. So lots of things that you can do there. Okay, so let me show you a couple other things. Let me show you how I create the pins, how I used to create them, and now Jenny creates them for me. And then I also want to show you Tailwind, which is a way you can schedule a bunch of pins in advance to really save you time. So let me show you how we make the pins, and that's in Canva. So canva.com. You can create a free account, although I really do like the pro version. There are so many more things that you can do with the pro version. And you can search for pin templates. So if you're at the home page, you can search for Pinterest and then Canva templates. And they have these down here for you. I'm just going to press enter. And then you can use these as templates. So you want this kind of long format picture for Pinterest because it takes up more of the screen. So we have our own pins that we have been using. So I'll pull that back up so you can just see what ours look like. So I use a lot of my brand colors and then a lot of my face, but they're all kind of like eye-catching to really establish my brand. With the pink, it's feminine because I work with a lot of women. So these are some of the ones that we have been doing. And for as what we pin, we are pinning to several different things because I have a lot of different content. We are pinning to my YouTube videos on my website, podcast episodes on my website, lead magnets, and then a little bit of my Teachers Pay Teacher store kind of sprinkled in. So if you have a Teachers Pay Teacher store, you could just pin to your TPT store. Now again, because that's not your website, you can't claim that. And so the pins might not do as well as you were pinning straight from your website, but it's okay. Many TPTers still have great success with just pinning straight to TPT from Pinterest without having that domain claimed. But I will say, like I said, once you get 50 to 100 products and you feel like you're ready to expand, then get a website, start blogging or making YouTube videos or something so that you can pin from your website, and then those will get you higher in the search, and then people go to your website, and then maybe they can click to your TPT store from your website. So we are pinning about, let's see, this looks like about 3 pins a day. So this is Tailwind. Tailwind is not free, but it is the only approved scheduler for Pinterest, and I think it's around $120 a year. So for me, it was definitely worth it, especially when I was pinning everything myself. Now that Jenny does it, she also likes Tailwind, so I think it's a highly recommended software, especially if you want to pin more. She actually told me that recently that when she creates a pin, she actually first pins it right in Pinterest, and then she repins it using Tailwind. So I thought that was interesting. I never heard of that before. And so that could be something that you try. I'm trying to figure out where I even pin now. Obviously, I'm not doing this myself anymore. Okay, so go to saved, and then there's a little plus over here. Create pin. I feel like that could be more obvious, Pinterest. And then this is where you can put the image. So you would make it in Canva, you would download it, one of the pictures as a PNG, and then you would title it with keywords, you would put a description with keywords, and then you would link to whatever you're pinning on your website. So for example, for this one, this is going to a blog post on my website. We would put the link to that blog post so that when people click the pin, it goes to my website. That's what one of those outbound clicks is. So every pin you want a link, and then you could choose the board that you want it to go to. If you have like your Pinterest connected to like your Shopify or WooCommerce store, you can actually tag products there. I haven't done that yet, but that's something that we're going to work on in the future, because I do have a WooCommerce store on my WordPress site, and I sell my teacher resources from there too. So that's something that we're going to do in the future. So I'll just show you, these are some of the pins that she has scheduled. So here is a pin title: Transform Your Life with Digital Products. Start today. It's time for a change. It's time to transform your passions and knowledge into a digital product. So she has a long description here with keywords, and then she's pinning to my website. Let's see, let's look at this one. So this would be one for my podcast. So 5 ChatGPT prompts for your digital products. In this episode, Lindsay shares 5 ChatGPT products to 5x your success. Whether you're crafting educational resources, online courses, that all these are keywords. And then she pins the actual link on my website. So she's not pinning to like Apple Podcasts. She's pinning to my website, and I'll show you that in just a second. And then she pins to a board. Now she did tell me that, let's say one of your pins might work for multiple boards because your boards are kind of all related. She makes sure to wait 14 days before repinning the same pin, and you can do that within Tailwind. So she'll pin it once, and then she'll wait 2 weeks and pin again, but she doesn't have to actually wait the 2 weeks. You can do that in Tailwind and schedule it. So she'll go ahead and pin it to both boards. So she'll say, hey, Tailwind, make sure there's 14 days between these 2 pins. And that just makes sure that Pinterest knows that you're not trying to spam. It used to be where the old rule of thumb was pin 30 pins a day, which was insane. So I'm very glad that that's not the case anymore. You don't have to pin as much. Another thing that Tailwind does is they kind of give you times to pin that might be good, although I really don't think the time matters, but you can just fill in these little pre-selected times that they give you. So yeah, that is Tailwind. And then finally, let me show you my website and how we have the podcast and our YouTube videos on there. So here's an example of one of my YouTube videos on my website. So this is on YouTube, but then we embed the YouTube video in my website, and that way we can pin to this link. It's a verified domain. It's part of lindsaybowden.com, so it'll be higher in search, and then people can watch the video right here. We're actually going to start adding blog posts to this as well based on the YouTube video, and then that just gives Google more information so that when people are searching, hey, how to upload a TPT, then my blog post with this video would come up. And then we also have my podcast episodes on here, and we embed the actual episode into here. So here's the actual episode. We embed this with our podcast provider, which is Libsyn, so they can listen right here. And then we give a little like information about what is covered, and then any links that we want to link to. And so we could pin to this, which is a podcast episode, but it's going to my website, which is a verified domain. And then I have blog posts that are not podcast or YouTube videos, that are just plain blog posts, and these are kind of old, but we can pin to these as well. How to make posters on PowerPoint, and then I just have like step-by-step blog posts. So the more content you have, the easier it is to fill your Pinterest queue. So the more TPT products or the more blogs or YouTube or podcast episodes, the easier it is to have things to pin. And then when people come to my website, I don't know if you saw that pop-up that I exited out of, but that's a lead magnet. So maybe someone's searching for anything related to teachers. They find my pin, they go to my blog post, and then the pop-up happens, and then they give me their name and email, and now they're on my email list. I can nurture them, and hopefully they will buy from me in the future if it's right for them. So yeah, that's basically how we use Pinterest. And then as you know, we are looking at our analytics like I showed you guys, we will start repinning things that are doing well. So let's say that I have a podcast episode that's getting tons and tons of clicks. So we'll make some new images for that same podcast episode and pin those again. We may even use the same image if that image is doing really well, but fresh images are really important to Pinterest because they don't want you spamming with the same image. So find content that's doing really well. Maybe it's one of your TPT products. Make new pins for that. You can just do like a new layout, maybe some different colors, but stick with your brand colors, and repin that same product and use the data to make future decisions, as with all things, right? So yeah, that's basically everything that we have been doing with Pinterest. Like I said, it's newer, and maybe in a few months I can give you an update as to how many leads or sales we've gotten with Pinterest. But I'm really excited that we have this new tool that's free, that is getting us free leads without me having to use paid ads all the time. So definitely make sure that you are using Pinterest in your business. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I put out a new video every Wednesday to help teachers and moms grow their business, and I'll see you guys next time.